Welcome back to Q-Dads, guys. It's me, Ben, and yes, we've got a Season 2 Silo trailer drop, which couldn't have come just in time, as we're only a month away from this beautiful second season. So I'm going to be taking a break from the usual From hype to bring you everything that we need to know on Silo. Now, I am going to be breaking down this trailer and giving you our thoughts and theories on how Season 2 is going to develop. But we must tell you first, we have a zero book spoilers here, and we're only discussing this from a TV aspect only. So please appreciate that journey with us and don't spoil anything book related in the comments. So the trailer opens as we dive through the O in the title of Silo, and as we spiral around that familiar staircase straight into Juliet's eyes, which was a great opening to this trailer. Now we hear the voice of George as it echoes, asking the big question, what if everything you know to be true is just one big lie? And then we cut to some new shots, with the first being some kind of flag planted in the ground. And this is a black flag, so there's no country or state on it. Now at first you might think that this is some kind of rebel flag and that maybe someone has been on the surface before Juliet. Because back in season 1 the camera lens gets dirty, and we can only assume that the amount of time that flag has been there, that it was actually white and has just gotten dirty over time. And as she seems to step outside, she steps on multiple skeletons of people who've previously attempted to escape the silo that she's heading towards. Now, I am asking here, is this because they're using the same tape that the silo was using before Juliet exits, meaning that all of these people were purposely killed by the organisation that's running it all? Which is why we see no one on the top surface, because actually everybody suffered the same fate. Although saying that, the skeletons that are revealed don't have any suits whatsoever, and they seem to wear no helmets nearby. So again, you could say that this is just done for visual purposes. But I don't think so. It's based on the sheer number of people. I mean, did the volume of these people exit the silo at the same time, almost like some kind of mass suicide? Or were they escaping the carnage that was going on above, and the inhabitants of the silo stopped them from getting in, which led to them all dying and suffocating from the toxic atmosphere? Now for me, this is probably the most logical, but just food for thought. Whereas Ste clearly thinks that this is because the people that died when the silos first went online, similar to Fallout, these people were trying to enter the silo, and whatever happened to the world happened, and I assume most of these were killed by silo members rather than by whatever destroyed the planet. Why else would you need a white flag? And this leads me to a question, will some of these weapons surface in other silos? We then get a couple more scenes as well. Bernard talks to the inhabitants of Silo 18, telling them that Juliet Nichols died outside the silo due to the bad toxins that circulate the atmosphere. But of course, this is just the start of what is becoming the rebellion with Silo 18, which I fear has happened to more silos than just this one. And that flag that we saw at the start almost represents the freedom, hope in some cases, and probably for Juliet, survival. And then we skip back to Juliet as she opens and breaks into the first silo that she comes to, which for the purpose of this video only, I'm going to be calling Silo 17. We then get a shot of her as her oxygen levels become low within the suit, and she starts to panic, trying to take it off, struggling to breathe as she walks down the stairs of what appears to be a barren silo. And for me, I don't think that voice saying the oxygen was low was actually coming from Juliet's suit. I believe that sound is coming from another room within the silo, or perhaps somewhere within Silo 18. And then we get a great spine-tingling moment as the rebellion comes to its peak. Calling out Bernard and lying about Juliet's death, we see her hit her own mask with a crowbar, which is inches away from her face and shattering the glass because she's obviously panicked and can't get the suit off. Now, I assume this is because here she is suffocating, which leads me to the question, so Juliet was easily able to break into the silo. So I believe that the silo has been ransacked, or similar to that of Silo 18, had some form of rebellion. Still, I believe the oxygen is on, or someone must be maintaining it. We then get some new returning characters, like the new Sheriff Billings, as he informs us that we've got to stop lying to the people and just reveal the truth to them. And then, as the rebellion is in full swing, the message of Juliet being alive spreads throughout the entire silo, literally from top to bottom. Now, we also get a scene of Judge Meadows crying, which is old footage. So how does she actually know? Is she crying because she knows what happened in the last rebellion and has figured it out the exact same thing will happen again? And then, as promised by Rebecca Ferguson, who plays Juliet, we do get to go underwater in this season. Now, the woman does have a mask on and a similar orange jumpsuit to Juliet. However, I don't think that this is Juliet. I believe that there is someone from Silo 18 exploring. I mean, what are the odds that every silo has the same pool of water? Either way, is this person potentially going to the other side of the door that George referenced in the first season? We then get Juliet talking and saying that nothing is going to stop her from trying to save this silo, because all she wants to do is survive. Now, a question here is, who is she talking to? This is clearly the inhabitants of another silo, but which silo is the question? And more on that in just a moment. And then we get a few hyped shots of different people all preparing for this war that's upcoming, the rebellion. The rebellion that's going to take over the silo. And more interestingly, we get a shocked look on Bernard's face as he sees the same camera as what Juliet sees. But my theory here is, how long has he been watching this? He's obviously shocked by the fact that the outside world is actually real, and the fact that she could survive that. But also, does he watch and continue to see her enter another silo? How far will the range go? And why emphasise on that scene if it's just beyond the mound of other silos? She has to see something here, a message in the sand, a clue to the war, or even a plea for help from someone else. And then we literally do save the best scene until last, as we see someone slide open the shutter and then tell Juliet that if she tries to open the door again, they will kill her. Now, my initial thoughts on this is that this was the first silo she visited before number 17. But that is not the case, because if you look at her, she's not wearing her outer suit, which means that she has explored this silo and has got down to a certain point, potentially in engineering, because that's where she's familiar with, and knows how to access the silo below. Is this person that she was talking to letting them know that she was trying to just survive? Is this a person that she will work with together to unlock the clues to the silo? Or does she realise that this person is a little bit psychotic and goes somewhere else? And let's not forget the biggest clue here to the potential multiple people visiting different silos. As the words behind Juliet in the scene say, we will get in sooner or later. So does that indicate that potentially there could have been people from the other silos or the surface attack and ransack other silos? As why else would there be a sign telling them that they'll get in eventually? So overall, the trailer was absolutely brilliant, and myself and Steve have a couple of initial theories. So for me, I predict that we do see Juliet try multiple silos before she gets to the one that she actually gets into now. And also, I think that Juliet will manage to somehow communicate back to Silo 18 and let them know that she is alive, which is why then, when the rebellion is knocked into full gear and those messages are sent throughout the silo. Or potentially that could be Sheriff Billings revealing the truth about the silo to all of the inhabitants. And on top of this, we don't actually know much about the illness that he had in the first season and why he had it. Is the person that we saw in Silo 17 someone who had this illness as well, but is now in the later stages? And also, why was that person down there? Were they forced down there? Or were they down there on their own accord? Now, for Steve's theory, he's going to predict how he thinks the season will end. And that's right, an early theory for you guys, so make sure you let us know in the comments if you think he's right. So he sees the season going like this. And remember, no book spoilers, we've not read anything here. But he believes that the rebels will take over Silo 18 and eventually ransack Judicial and recover artifacts and data pertaining to the creation of the silos. Therefore, they will learn about the other silos, and they will also learn about the door. which he believes is connected to another silo, as do I. And we both believe that all silos are connected. Juliet will somehow have gotten a message to them that she is alive and she's going to open the door at the bottom. Now, he says that the final scene of the season will be them opening the door at the same time Juliet does, only to realise that they're not in connecting silos and that there will be someone else or something else on the other side for both. So right guys, thanks for joining us on this little trailer breakdown and letting us share our theories with you. Silo Season 1 was one of the first series that we properly covered and we can't wait to get back into it. So don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, as you don't want to miss out our breakdowns. And don't worry, we will be dropping another From video soon later in this week, so keep your eyes peeled for that as well. And absolutely, let us know in the thoughts, your comments on our theories, and again, no book spoilers please. And as always, thanks for watching and we'll catch you next time with something new.